But let's talk about something a whole lot more interesting. A few days ago, Rwanda reported $1.8 million weekly coffee exports revenue, one of the country's main agri-commodities. And one of these coffee destinations exports, Nigeria. So let's have this coffee conversation within the context of Africa's agriculture, innovation, and intra-Africa trade. Joining me for coffee now is the founder and CEO of NGR Farms Africa, Olawale Rotimi. Good evening, Wale. Thanks for coming, and thank you very much for bringing coffee along to this conversation. We appreciate that. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. This is 100% Africa, by the way, is it?
Yeah, definitely. And then I would say if it is not African, it is not coffee. So
I love that.
Yeah, so if it's not African, it's not coffee. So it's 100% African, grown and roasted, packaged in Rwanda. And then we export to various countries around the world.
Are you getting Nigerians to, I'm already converted, by the way, so you're preaching to one of the choir members, maybe the choir leader, by the way, maybe I'm the leader of the choir, when it comes to, well, I don't know how you drink coffee habit, but are we getting more Africans, including Nigerians, to drink coffee? Because the weather in sub-Saharan Africa is warm and hot. So sometimes they say, boasting even this 100 degrees centigrade, you're still having a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah, so one thing is coffee is not about weather. It's a culture. It's a beverage. So it's just like you take other beverages. That's the same way you take coffee. So most times people think it's about weather. No, it's just a culture. And more also, I think Africans take coffee, Nigerians take coffee. But the problem we have on this side is that people mistake coffee for tea. For example, now we know that there are a lot of instant coffee around we grew up taking, but we call them tea. So Africans take coffee, Africans take tea. And we have also seen, for example, we see the statistics over the next 5 years, up to 2026, it's going to keep rising. As we have more middle-income earners in Africa, coffee consumption is going to keep going up in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. And we also see this as new brands of coffee shops and coffee brands across various countries in Africa that are rising. For example, like NGR Farms, what we're doing in various countries in Africa, Rwanda, Nigeria, Zambia. And also there are other African coffee brands rising from different countries and spreading around the continent. So yeah, I think the focus is great. And I, as a person and perhaps I believe other coffee growers, also coffee producers, are really excited and looking forward as the culture spreads around the continent.
I started salivating about how much the Rwandans are making in terms of coffee exports. $1.8 million in just 1 week. So I'm asking myself, how can Nigeria be part of this coffee dollar instead of petrodollar?
Yeah, so coffee, it's bought in the global market based on quality. Just like every other commodity, the quality is looked at. And coffee quality is determined from the plantation, the pruning, how you take care of the coffee. Is it shade grown? What variety of what species of coffee you planting? And then how you nurture the coffee. Coffee is a very tender crop, and you have to nurture it. You have to take care of it. What kind of species? How you taking care of it? Yeah, so I believe Nigeria can take advantage of it. The government needs to invest, and the private sector also needs to invest in training farmers. We have the weather in parts of the country like the middle belts, like Jos and Taraba. The weather is there. So the government and private sector need to invest in training farmers so that we can meet up with global quality requirement for coffee. So I think Nigeria can do it. We just need to invest massively in training farmers to grow coffee that meets international requirement. Also, we need a lot of partnership with ICO, that's International Coffee Organization, which is like a regulatory body for coffee. I know ICO, yeah, I think recently, before COVID outbreak, they visited Nigeria. So I believe this partnership will help also in giving credibility to coffee producers in Nigeria. Yeah.
Do we need to take the coffee farmers to the university? I don't think so. So it doesn't take a whole lot to train them in coffee production. Where do you think the problem really is? Because I know about Taraba, the tea from Taraba State, Highland tea, by the way, quality. Yeah. So yeah. I'm an indigenous, I'm a local man on the ground.
Correct.
So, and I'm proud of that, by the way. So,
Correct.
so now I want to say coffee perhaps from the same Taraba state, and you say Plateau State, and maybe Benue State and elsewhere. So, what does it really take within the agri value chain for us to have a made in Nigeria coffee, my friend?
Yeah, so one of it is what I've said already, but also there are other components, which, for example, we have conversations around this in Lagos Business School at the agribusiness units of Lagos Business School. We have ongoing conversations around it on how we can revolve the coffee sector in Nigeria and the tea sector. But also there are other components which is affecting. One of them, which is a trending topic in the country, which is insecurity. For example, we as private sector, if we want to go into training the farmers, building the capacity, for example, we're also considering the insecurity situation in the country. We all know this is a trending issue. We have banditry, we have attacks all over the farms. So these are salient issues that needs to be, discussed and dealt with. For us to have an holistic entrance into the sector. But yeah, I'm optimistic. I believe private sector players like us and others can also play their role. Hoping the government is able to put in place enabling environment, security, good roads and the likes that will boost any effort we're able to put in.
Very interesting. Now you talk about the challenges like infrastructure, road logistics. Are these challenges driving some of you investors in agriculture into other countries on the continent? Because the home continent, it doesn't look very, very attractive, as it were, in terms of giving you the confidence to go to the farms. So where are you investing and in what commodities?
Yeah, so for us, we didn't leave Nigeria, we didn't expand to other countries because of insecurity in Nigeria. We've been here, we started here, and then we're growing here. We expanded to other countries because we have a Pan-African vision, and that's what we're growing. So when Nigeria, we started with cassava value chain in Nigeria, which we're still doing. We're still playing the cassava value chain. Yeah, we went to Rwanda for coffee, and then also we have coffee shops in Nigeria. We have in Abuja, and we have in Lagos. Recently, we opened a coffee shop in Oshodi Bus Terminal 3, which is really doing very well. We're currently building in Terminal 2 right now also, and we're hoping to expand to Terminal 1. The idea is just to grow this coffee culture, not for the middle income, not for the rich alone, but also to grow it for the low income. Coffee should be something affordable. You go to Europe, you go to America, coffee is basic. It's not luxury. Unlike what you have here, where you have coffee for the CEOs, for the executives alone. What we're doing is it should be available for everyone. So in Rwanda, we have coffee. And then we also have a Green Agribusiness Fund, a new project we just launched with the FAO last year, where we're investing into youth-led agribusinesses across the continent. Also in Zambia right now, we have a factory which we're building. Is a livestock feed factory. We're going to livestock feed processing in Zambia. So we have a Pan-African vision, and in the coming years, we'll keep expanding to different African countries just to ensure that the agri potentials in Africa are really harnessed, and also we create decent jobs across the continent, and also raise the next generation of agrarian leaders. Because if you look at the demography, the average age of an African farmer, not African farmer alone, but global farmer, the average age is 60 years. So the question comes, in the next 2 decades, will these farmers be able to go to farm? And then with the rising population, we need to speedily raise the next generation of agrarian leaders. Otherwise, we're going into a food crisis globally in the next 2 decades. Yeah.
So where are you getting some funding, by the way, quickly?
Yeah, so for GR Farms, we grew very, very small, and then we work with shareholders. We have shareholders in GR Farms. Some of them are project-based shareholdings. For example, what we're doing in Zambia now, we have shareholders. Currently, we have 9 shareholders on the project, or brought in funds buying equity shares in GR Farms to start up the project. Yeah, so this is how GR Farms is able to raise capital, for example. And then we have extended this initiative also to what we've just launched, the Green Agribusiness Fund, where we're also buying equity stakes in youth-led agribusinesses, which I said we piloted in Rwanda, for example. The next cohort comes up by July 2021, and we're looking at expanding to Nigeria, Rwanda, and Uganda. Looking at bringing these young people into an academy, which we're going to call Green Agribusiness Fund Academy, train them for 2 months, and the best one receive investment as equity from us.
Olawale Rotimi, if I have some time, I could just be in the class for the next youth. I'm qualified. Thank you so much. But I could just pass on some knowledge to the kids, by the way. So,
thank you.
So don't write me off, by the way. Don't shut the classroom door when you see me just popping around.
It's fine. I hope you come with some dollars when you come to the class.
Olawale Rotimi of JT Farms Africa. Thank you very much for making us proudly Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much and for bringing coffee once again.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
All right.
See you again.
Thank you.